Your fundamental misunderstanding of the way our political structure works is going to be everyone's downfall. And I really need some of y'all motherfuckers to shut the fuck up about politics because you don't know what you're talking about. I've seen a lot of commentary on my political videos all the time, especially the last one I did about how the GOP is targeting 20% of black men. And they like, well, what have the Democrats done for black men? The Democrats, in the way that you're speaking about them, they don't exist, sweetheart. The Democrats don't exist, at least in the way that you're thinking about them. And here's fucking why. Y'all are thinking about the Democrats as some entity that's in charge of this thing, when really you're the one in charge, and the Democrats are just fucking headhunters. If you don't know what a headhunter is or what a headhunter does, basically headhunters are people who are employed by corporations to find specific candidates for certain job openings, right? So think about it like this. Think about America as the corporation. Think about the American people as the hiring managers for America, the corporation. And think about the DNC and the RNC as the headhunters that have been tasked with the responsibility of vetting the proper candidates to present to the hiring manager for America. That's how you need to be thinking about it. Now, the hiring managers, us, we have the ability to petition for certain candidates to be looked at and included in the headhunter's presentation to the American people, right? So we can petition for people to be put onto the DNC's ballot if we want a candidate that we feel would fit our needs better. Now, there are certain rules and standards that the DNC has in order for a candidate to qualify to be included in the presentation to the hiring managers of America. And I did a video way back in October letting y'all know how to get more candidates on the DNC's ballot. But did y'all do it? Fuck no, you didn't. You know why? Because you don't know how the fucking system works, you fucking idiot. So now the only candidates that the DNC has to present to us are A, crazy ass psychopath Marianne, I can cure COVID with fucking vibes Williamson. Conniving lion ass Dean Phillips, who hired a fucking New Orleans street magician to do unscrupulous illegal things in his contest and can't even beat a fucking uncommitted vote in the same region his ass is from. And the incumbent president who got us out of a whole lot of shit that the GOP put us in the 4 years prior to his term, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. Those are your three choices from the major political party that is on the ballot in every fucking state and able to win the election. Those are your three choices. Side note, to be put under contract with America as a headhunter, you have to be a major political party. And most third parties are not qualified as major third parties in 2024. That's just the reality of the situation. So now we, as hiring managers, think about this like the first round of the interviews, right? The primaries are the first round of interviews for the person that we are trying to hire for this spot. And the hiring managers have to all go and say, I think this candidate should make it to the next round of interviews, or this candidate should make it to the next round of interviews. That's what fucking primary elections are. The next round of interviews happens at the Democratic National Convention. At the convention, you're now sending people who, let's say they just represent assistant hiring and firing managers, right? From every state, there are delegates who are supposed to be more well-versed in what their state want from a certain candidate. And whichever candidate won that state's primary has more people fighting for them to win the spot. That's what primaries are for, to see how many delegates this candidate is going to get to represent them at the convention. There's a lot of shit that can go on at the convention. I'm not about to get into that because I'm not well versed in it, because as I have told y'all a million times before, I'm not a fucking Democrat. I am an unaffiliated, informed voter who claims a party to vote in primaries because I live in a closed primary state. So I don't know what the fuck goes on at the Democratic National Convention all the time because I'm not a motherfucking Democrat and I don't go to that shit. What I am is a regular, well-read, informed voter whose ideas and ideals for freedom in this country and how this country should be legislated they skew closer to the Democratic Party than they do to the white supremacist, patriarchal, Christo-fascist, heteronormative authoritarianism that the GOP stands for. That's what the fuck I am, and that's what the fuck I believe. I am also a very logical person who knows how to do math. And so no matter what third party candidate comes along sounding good and looking great, I understand that realistically and mathematically, they cannot win because they are not on the ballot in every state. And until our country gets rid of the electoral college and all that goes on with that, they're never going to fucking win. And y'all have to accept that because it is the system we are in. We can change the system, but you fighting against the system is doing nothing but reinforcing the system, baby. That's all you're doing. You're not figuring out how to work the system to your benefit. What you're doing is either choosing to try to buck the system in an unsuccessful bid, or you're choosing not to participate in the system. Either way, if you are not working the system to your benefit, you are reinforcing the system's ability to oppress your dumb ass. And in the year of our Lord 2024, what I also am not, nor will I ever be, is a one-issue voter. Because one-issue voters are not logical people. One-issue voters are not well-rounded people. One-issue voters are people who have tunnel vision and who cannot accept the things that they don't like, and so they are selfish and narcissistic in nature because they cannot be rational human beings who take the full picture into consideration when they are making decisions. And baby, if you turned into a one-issue voter after October 7th, 2023, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but you are being illogically moronic. And no, I'm not just name calling. Let me qualify that moron statement with some actual facts. In 2018, the Trump administration fired the pandemic response team that the Obama-Biden administration created to keep our country safe from infectious disease. A year and a half later, our country was hit with COVID and 1 million fucking Americans died. Over 1 million, actually. Additionally, for the past 75 years, it never mattered who was in the White House or what party was in charge of our Congress. America has supported Israel in all of their efforts against the Palestinian people. So if loss of life is the rubric and the metric that you are using to qualify who you're going to vote for or who you're not going to vote for, and you're also hollering about you're not going to vote for Biden and you could never vote for Biden because of the loss of life that's going on in a whole nother country that has a whole nother leader that we can't do anything about, you're moronic because you are now prioritizing something that you can't do anything about over the fact that you have literal tangible evidence that the other person has killed 1 million of your own countrymen. That is literally illogical and moronic. A lot of y'all got the game of politics fucked up after 2008 because you felt so good about Obama, because Obama presented something to you that made you feel a certain kind of way. At the end of the day, politicians are not our friends. Politicians are not someone we're looking at to spend the rest of our lives with. Hell, they're not even fuck buddies, baby. Politicians are your employees. And what you are doing is hiring somebody for a short amount of time in order to move your country and the legislation, the laws of your country towards your ideals of what you think should be representative of your country. If that is not the thought that's paramount in your mind when you go to that voting booth, you don't know what the fuck you doing with your power. At the end of the day, what I really wish y'all would do is get the fuck off of social media spouting off about shit you don't know about. Because you sound stupid, you look stupid, and you're influencing other people to be stupid. Vote, ho, and fire the GOP so that we can get somewhere in this country. Or at the very least, shut the fuck up if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And most of y'all, when it comes to politics, you don't know. And this is why I will forever hate group projects, because people who don't know have the same level of power as people who do actually know. Vote, ho! P.S. If you let the GOP win, they're going to change all the rules and you'll never be able to participate again. Holla!